What's going on, gang? Welcome back to the channel. Well, we jumping right into another will it run. On the left table we have a 2006 Yamaha Vino 125. So yeah, check it out, guys. Now, I had this bike for almost 2 years. This bike was actually supposed to be a donor bike for the orange Zuma right there, but you know, we ended up GY6 swapping that thing with some parts that I had for a ruckus build that never happened. Okay guys, let's walk around the bike real quick. We have it's great that we still have the exhaust on this thing, and this one has a carburetor, so cool beans. But we are missing some parts. We're missing the tail light, we're missing the gas cap, the ignition, the little plate that goes around the gas cap here. Now, the guy that I bought this from, he needed parts off of it for his Vino. You know, he took the ignition because, you know, the bike came with a key, you know, for everything, so took a couple panels. He actually took this panel here, the battery cover panel, and I think he took one more panel over here on this side. Yes, he took the other quarter panel on the left hand side of the bike, but everything is here. You know, everything else is here. You know, only bad thing is he cut the wiring, the pigtail for the ignition is what I'm trying to say. All right, guys. We're just gonna jump right into this bike and see, will this thing run? I don't have a project for this bike yet. You know, I really don't feel like putting it back together. Truthfully, it's gonna be more expensive than it's worth, because these panels that are missing, if I were to add all this up, you know, profit in this bike would be very minimal. So to me, it's a parts bike, but we need to see, will it run? Now, I do have a lead on another Yamaha Vino 50F, you know, the 4-stroke Vino, but they hadn't hit me back yet, but hopefully they do. And if they do, we'll go ahead and do what I originally intended with the orange bike, and we'll swap a 125 onto a 50F. But all right, this bike is bottom mount too, so that is another cool factor. So, you know, putting it onto like a Chinese bike really wouldn't be hard since it's a bottom mount. But all right, guys, let me stop talking. We're gonna get these body panels off and we're gonna see what we got. Okay, gang, got the flarings off the bike, and looking it over, doesn't seem to be molested. Now, we are missing the fuel lines, but the fuel pump is still here, so that's cool beans. This thing has a fuel pump instead of a pecock, so it looks like I just gotta run the hoses back into the fuel pump. It comes from the fuel tank there. We have all this small equipment. We're not hooking any of that up, you know, so I'm thinking the fuel line goes in here. We have a vacuum line running to the top of the fuel pump. So, all right, outlet right into the fuel. All right, cool. Now, I think I did look at this carburetor once before, and it was missing something. What was it missing? What was it missing? Oh yeah. It's missing the little arm for the accelerator pump. That's what you call it. Yeah, there was like it's supposed to be like an arm here, and it goes to this accelerator pump, but that's no big deal. That should not stop this bike from running. But check it out, guys. Now, this being a Yamaha, I'm willing to say that's a real Mikuni carburetor, you know, so I could probably use that on something else. But all right, guys, let me go ahead and get the plastic off here. I kind of did look in here a minute ago and seen where the wires was cut, because he told me he cut the pigtail, but I never really looked. But hey, check that out. Cars are coffins. I like that sticker. All right, let me get that off and I'll turn you right back in. Okay, guys, got the plastics off. The flarings. Say it again, the flarings. I got the flarings off. Okay, as you can see where he cut the wiring harness for the ignition, and he just basically unbolted and kept the ignition. I'm just now noticing that he took the light bulb too, because here is the harness for the bulb. So, all right, no bulb. Now, I took the fuel gauge off of the leg flaring, the inner flaring, and I put it here. Just kind of screwed it on there. It's all M6, so screwed it and plugged it back up, because I want to know if that works, because I think my Zuma, the 50F, has the same plug, you know, but it's up in the other part of the wiring harness, up in here for a fuel gauge. I'm not sure, but I would like to have a fuel gauge on the 50F. But okay, battery cables here hanging out. I did the usual, just, you know, click the two together because the fuse is missing here. Grounds, everything looked good, nothing's cut, just that. And check this out, the coil. Here's the stock coil, here's the Chinese aftermarket coil, and they were plugging it into that. I don't know, I guess maybe this coil burnt out and they tried to switch it up for this, and I don't know. All right guys, check out the smog tube coming out of the head. Now that's interesting, but we definitely gonna have to plug that off because that's going into the smog pump, I want to say. So yeah, get rid of that horsepower robber right there. Now guys, I've never laid my hands on one of these 125s, so it's all new to me. This thing says oil. You can see that oil. I'm assuming that's where you put your oil in. And here's our rockers. Cool beans. I gotta, ooh. I gotta find TDC top dead center, and we might have to be adjusting on some rockers, man. What is that, like? Like 10,000s out? I don't know, man. All right, so we've got another one on the bottom, so I'm assuming the other rocker is down here. So, all right, let me get that back on. We'll get that in a second. Let's walk around the other side and see if there's any other tomfoolery going on. All right, I don't see anything else that looks. All this smog equipment was unplugged. That's been running to the fuel tank. So I want to assume this is like a charcoal canister for a car. You know, sucking the vapors off the tank, storing it helps you crank your car better. Or in this case, help you crank your scooter better. I have no idea. Okay, this thing does have a kickstand switch, so if we have any issues, we know to come over here and look at this sucker. And I'm thinking to bypass it, all you would do, here's the wiring harness running this way, just loop these two together, you know. Okay, this looks, okay, I think this is our flasher right here down in the floorboard. Now that would suck if you need to change a flasher, you got to pull the floorboard out to get to it. But yeah, I don't see anything else in there. No more jankiness. This wiring harness looks really good, man. So all right, oh no, there's the flasher. So what the heck is that? I don't know. All right, going to get a battery. I gotta run out of here again and go get some gas because I forgot all about that. And let's just see what this thing spent over. Got the battery hooked up and I don't see any smoke signals. Nothing look like it wants to light on fire. So all right, let's get to doing the ignition wires and see what signs of life we have in the bike. Okay, got the bike all hot wired up, and I'm not showing you guys how to do that. That's G14 classified. You know, if you want to learn how to steal bikes, go somewhere else. I'm not going to show you, you know. So anyway, all right, now that that's all wired up, everything works. I went ahead and tested it without you guys. We got horn, left signal. Now it's flashing fast because we don't have the no signal lights. Previous owner kept those. All right, we got our right one, and these things are broken, but it is what it be, right? Okay, and now I didn't think the thing, the starter was working. Here's our starter solenoid, and it's hooked up and everything, and yep, like I said, that kickstand switch, yeah, that was our culprit. So with the kickstand down, it won't do nothing, guys. It won't start, but you put the kickstand up, ready to roll, and we have an engine that's spinning, and I can hear those valves just a clacking. Listen, that top one, well, that top one, man, is just loosey goosey. All right, now we need to figure out if we got spark. So what I want to do, instead of going with what they already had with this coil, I want to go ahead and try and hook up the old coil, the original, and see can we get spark from there. If not, then we'll switch to trying to do what they did. Okay, I disconnected that Chinese coil they put in there, and I'm assuming this orange spade, female spade connector goes there, and if you look there, it looks like right there is where it broke off from the ground here. So I'm just going to find my screwdriver right here. Let's just put that back together. And I just want to try to see if we can run the bike on this. Ooh, that's stripped out. Both sides are. All right, cool beans. That thing is not coming off easily. So let me cut a little slit in this screw so I can pull this this Phillips head off and get it ground. All right, let's see, can we get them out now? There we go. Yeah, I went ahead and just slitted them both. Let's just get them off of here, and if this coil works, we'll just replace it with some 10 or 8mm head bolts. And man, that one's stucky. That one don't want to come out. All right, well, we got the one we need, so we'll work with that one. And I forgot to cut the head off that sucker later. All right, I don't want to take it all the way out, so let's just wrap this ground around. Wrap the ground around. I swear, man, I'm rhyming and not even trying. All right, get that thing tightened up. Now we need to put a coil wire in there, so I'm assuming, well, nope, this is a Chinese end, so okay. So screw this sucker, and we will screw it right back into this coil. Now these coils, guys, you can change out the wires. You know, I've seen people put MSD wires, you know, on their Chinese scooters and other scooters, because the wire just screws right on. See that? So screw inside there, and it screws right on there. Just in case you didn't know it. If you did know it, disavow anything I just said. Alrighty. Yeah, that's kind of tricky to screw the thing in because I can't get straight at it. All right, let me get this thing screwed in, guys, and I'll tap you right back in. All right, gang, this coil is a no-go. Okay, I see why they tried to switch out. It's just all broken in there. The little screw that holds the wire, it's been chewed up, mangled. So, all right, we're gonna have to go with a Chinese coil. Okay, gang. Got the Chinese coil back on the bike, and we do have sparks, so check it out. I want you guys to lean right in there real good. Look about right there. All right, we got pretty good spark, pretty good. Now I went ahead and pulled out the spark plug that came in the bike. This is a what's this, NGK Iridium. That is one deep, long plug.
That's what she said.
And I don't know, man. That almost looks like rust on the top of that plug. And it's, you know, from the tip of the plug like it was running rich, but you really can't tell until you cut the plug and look at the whiteness around the porcelain on the bottom half. But all right, we're just gonna clean this sucker up. Steel wool and a wire brush. Let's see, can we get some, see if this plug any good. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not bad. So I'm gonna stick this sucker here in there. See, do we have any spark with that plug? Oh yeah, great spark, great spark. Okay, we got spark. We got revolutions. I can hear the air. The air's blowing out there, blowing on me, so it kind of feels like it might have good compression. Not sure. We do need to compression test it, but not right now. Once we can't get this thing to start and we're feeling defeated, then we'll compression test it and be like, aha, that what was wrong. All right, that back in real quick. I think we need to go and check the oil. So let me get the spark plug on and we'll go find out where to check the oil. I don't think I showed you guys, but yeah, that's why I put the old Chinese coil kind of right where the other one went off. Just bolted it right to one of those, so that's cool beans. I mean, I'm not going to keep this bike together like this, but yeah, I am going to keep it together until I find a bike to switch this engine out for. So all right, where is our oil dipstick, man? I don't see no dipstick, man. None. What the heck? That's crazy. Where is the dipstick, Jimmy? Alright, well, let me look around for a dipstick and I'll turn you guys back in. Okay, gang, I shit you not. I had to Google this to figure out how to check the oil, and to me, it's pretty stupid. Check this out. It says, locate the oil level sight glass on the left side of the motor, positioned just below the air filter cover. The oil sight glass should be partially filled with oil, you know, whatever, yada yada, blah blah blah. But check this out. There it is. And all I see is darkness. So how would you be able to check that? I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, if your oil is black and all you see is blackness, how can you check the oil? You know, is that too full? I mean, should I see a level line in there? I don't know. But all right, we're going to assume for right now it has oil and move right along to trying to figure out how in the heck to find top dead center. I got to Google that too. And I also got to Google what the valve lash should be on this. Set all of that crap and see will it run. Okay, gang, I'm sitting here watching another YouTube video, Mitch's scooter stuff. Guys, 100K followers. Jesus. All right, this is a video he made from 10 years ago, guys, and yeah, I assumed I had to remove the side cover, but I didn't know this daggone side cover was this freaking huge. Man, it goes from here all the way to the middle of the motor. So yeah, it's not your GY6 stuff. So I got a couple screws I gotta remove. Man, it almost looks like I have to remove the exhaust to get the cover off. Hoping that's not the case, but if it pisses me off too bad, I'm just gonna take the spark plug out and stick a straw or something in there, a zip tie, and wait till it comes all the way up, and then when it is in that little limbo spot between going up and going down, that's top dead center. You know what, I might just go ahead and do that now. Okay, gang, I got to thinking, man, there's got to be a better way to be able to put this thing to top dead center without taking all of this off, man. Exhaust and all that crap, right? So, well, I saw the plug and I pulled it and looked down in there, and yes, you can see the timing mark through that hole. So get some light on it. See that like light square thing down there towards the bottom middle of the screen? Well, yeah, that's the little arrow where you got to line up on your magneto top dead center. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the markings are right there. They're not quite lined up, but yeah, so cool. I think Mitch's scooter stuff took all of this off to show you guys better, because it's kind of hard to see that. So shout out to Mitch's scooter stuff, man. Looked like he's been on YouTube for years, so help me out. Shout out to Mitch's scooter stuff. All right, I'm going to go ahead and line this thing up to top dead center, and then I got to Google again what the valve lash should be. Okay, the old Google machine says the correct valve lash is 0.03 of an inch on the intake and 0.05 of an inch on the exhaust. All right, real quick, fun fact. Did you guys know that Google misspelled their own company name? The correct spelling of Google is G-O-O-G-E-L or G-O-O-G-O-L. Yeah, fun fact. That has nothing to do with what we're doing right now, but okay. Let's get the top of this sucker off and see where it is, since it's on top dead center now. Get my butt up off this chair, which is glued to. All right, that doesn't look too far off. So, man, my voice is going. I ate a sandwich and it went sideways down my throat, so I almost died. All right, that's 0.05 of an inch, and where's 3? Right there. Now it does feel a little loose, so let's see. Oh yeah, that's way loose. Let's check it against the 5. They may got it set to 5. I know one thing, it definitely needs to be adjusted. Where's the 5? We just had that. Here we go. I mean, 0.05 of an inch is not much difference, but yeah, It's way loose. So, all right, let me dig around and find my valve adjust. Oh, never mind. I found something quick for once in my life. There they go. I had to put that in another drawer somewhere. So, okay, valve tool on. Let's figure out which side we need first. Not that side. I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, there is not a lot of room to get in here. Now, my GY6 tool is not going to work for the nut. It's too big. It's crazy. Yep, not gonna work on that side, and this side is bigger than that side. So, how about this piece? Jesus. Okay. All right, that side works. This side is not going to work, so that's gonna suck. Let's find out what size it is. So I'm thinking that was a 10 mil. I don't know. Let me figure this out real quick, guys, and then I'll get right back with you. Okay, that valve nut right there is a 8 millimeter. All right, more you know. That's gonna be kind of a you know what when I gotta tighten it back up, but we'll figure it out. All right, so it's loose now. Let's grab our feeler gauges. Got 3/1000 of an inch on there, and you just want to tighten them down to, as you slide your feeler gauge in and out, it has like a slight magnetic feel, you know, just a slight little drag on that sucker. You don't want it tight. See right there, that's tight. It's too tight. So I want to loosen it up just to where it has a slight drag. And I think that's cool right there. Now the problem is going to be tightening this sucker up. I think I'm about to do it with a wrench. So that's my 8 millimeter. Here's one. I had another one that's longer, but odds is I'll never find it right now. So let's try to keep that where it's at and tighten this sucker up. All right, tight, good and snug. Gotta try to keep this piece from moving. So, okay, one more for good luck. Now that feels too tight, but let's just recheck it. And it's kind of hard to get this in here because you see you're down in like a cup trying to get a feeler gauge to go in there. All right, that feels good. So cool beans. Let's throw the top back on. Where is it? Okay, here it is. All right, now if this bike runs, if this bike runs, oh hell, that was the right word. If this bike runs, I'm just gonna go ahead and change the oil because I plan on keeping this engine set up, so I'm just gonna change on it. All right, now let me put all of these Phillips screws back into the engine shroud that I took off, and then I'm going to go ahead and check the bottom one, and then we'll try to figure out if this thing is going to fire. We'll just shoot a little carb cleaner in it first, see if we got any bark. If we got any bark, then we're going to worry about this carburetor after that. Okay, got the bottom the bottom valves adjusted, and they're just great. Now I thought that was going to be a pain in the you know what, because look how it is, man. I mean, but these are actually easier once you get your hands in the right position to adjust than the top ones, bro. So cool beans on all of that. Let's just go ahead and throw this cap back on. Going to throw our spark plug back in, and just gonna shoot a little bit of brake clean in there just to see if we can get it to bark off. If we can get it to bark off, and I think then we should just do the right thing. Pull that carburetor, make sure it's clean. You know, I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm trying to run through this really fast. Okay, gang, I got the Berryman's B12 Chem Tube Carb and Choke Cleaner in my hand. So everything's wired back up. We're just gonna shoot a little Berryman's in here and see where it just, you know, bark off for a second or two. You know, we're not trying to run it on carb cleaner because you can wash your cylinders down, and what that means is wash the oil off the cylinders, and then your piston will be metal to metal and scar your cylinder. But we just want to give it a squirt. Now it's best for engines like this that hadn't run for a while to use 2-stroke, and I do have some, I just don't know where it's at. So anyway, let's just get this in here and let's see, and give it a little squirt. All right, let's hit the button. All right, we have absolutely nothing. Let's see if we can open that throttle and get a little bit of that down below. Get it past that throttle blade and try that out. Nothing. Now I did put the spark plug back in because this thing is acting like it has no compression at all. None. It's just spinning like this, and not even a piston in it. I mean a spark plug in it. We know it's a piston in it because it was going up and down. I might have to check my valves again now. If your valves are too tight, guys, they'll stay open and your engine won't build compression. I've had that problem too. So alright, let's see. What else could it be? I don't know. Let me play with it for a minute and let's, you know, I'm gonna recheck my valves quick. Let me recheck my valves, make sure that's not the issue, and then we'll get right back at it. Guys, my valves are great. Let's just try to fill the bowl with a little bit of this Berryman's. You know, sometimes they just take a little bit longer to bust off than normal. So let's try that. See where it go. All right, let's make sure we still got spark, man. You know, we had spark, but this coil is suspect because it's not one of mine, and I didn't get it off a running bike. So make sure we still got spark. Yeah, we still got sparkage, and we know the iridium plug we put back in there that came off the bike, we know it's sparking really good. So I don't know. Oh, got a little pop. Maybe we flooded it. Oh, you know what? That carburetor is loose as heck. I know that was not stopping it, but let's tighten this up real quick. Oh yeah, man, look at that. The clamp wasn't even on. I didn't even notice that. Alright, tighten this up and we will do it again. See, I think got a little mud flap right there. I guess that's to keep the dirt and stuff from, you know, flying up and getting all over the motor. That's neat. Alright, carburetor is secured now. Let's just shoot a little more Berryman's in there. And hit the button. Alright, I have no freaking idea what's going on. It has spark, it has compression, the valves are in the right place. Is there anything up there on the gauges I'm missing? No, everything looks good. Kickstand, the switch is on. Yeah, it's a brain teaser here, guys. All right, well, let's pull the carburetor And let's shoot some fuel straight down the intake. Even without a carburetor, you know, it should just fire up and, you know, it'll go wide open, of course, but I don't know. We got a lot of starting fluid right there in the hole. Let's spin it without the carburetor. One thing, but that thing has a great suction. It is pulling. Now, whatever the heck these pieces are on top of the carburetor, I have no freaking idea. I don't know where all of these hoses go. It's gonna be another Google moment. Is that stopping us? I doubt it. Highly, highly doubt it. All right, I'm gonna disconnect this carburetor. We're gonna see what it looks like on the inside. All right, got the carb off. Let's clear off some space right here. Let's check the inside of this car. Let's make sure it's still got jets and all. This thing is completely new to me, guys. So, I mean, I've had it for 2 years, but it's the first time I ever even, you know, gave it more than a glance. You know, I went over to the storage and I walked by and I looked at it and I say, you know what? I've never heard that bike run. So I figured, hey, once I'm doing all these will it runs on all the bikes and thinning the herd down. Oh, this thing, okay, well, I did just put some carb clean in it. And I figured, hey, let's just run through all of my bikes that I've never heard run, and this is the last one that I've never heard run, and just get them all going, you know. Hope you guys are enjoying these will it runs. I mean I am, because you know, I get to know the status of something that I've had forever, and I've never, you know, attempted to crank it. All right, last bolt, last bolt. I'm trying not to talk you guys' heads off. All right, couple taps. There you go. All right, that bowl doesn't look too bad. I mean, I can tell it's been off before, and it's been some cleaning going on because I can see some like tool markings where they were scraping it out. So it just smells just like the carb cleaner I just put in there. Okay, here's our jets. Like I say, none of this should stop us just from squirting something in it and it barking off. And yes, you can run your engine off a brake clean, carb clean. All of that has been done 1,000 times. I've done it 1,000 times. Heck, I just started the Vino this morning. It was kind of cold outside. Shot a brake clean and it fired right up. Okay, let me get a screwdriver and take all of this out.
Shooting faster than a cheetah, harder than a jalapeno. I'm a superstar. I'm a
Well, okay, gang, both our jets are clean, man. So somebody went through this carb and cleaned it before I got this thing. So, I mean, that's cool. Now we just got to figure out why it does not want to bark. That is ludicrous to me. So, all right, I'm gonna slap this thing back together, guys, and I guess I'm just gonna keep playing with it until we can get it to go. Okay, guys, I'm just hooking the carburetor back up, and just wanted to say real quick, man. At first, when I first started dealing with Yamahas, I thought this dual throttle cable was just some unnecessary junk, but you know, the way it works is it pulls the throttle closed and open, and it pulls it back closed. I mean, say for instance you broke your throttle cable and it was hung wide open. You know, with one cable you couldn't close that choke, and I mean, like, well, the throttle blade, you know, potentially throw yourself into the side of a building or a car or something. But if you got the dual throttle cables, one pulling it open and the other one pulling it closed, yeah, I mean, hey, I think it's just more safety, and I can't argue with safety. So I still need to figure out what in the heck these two electrical wires is going to the top of the carb, and what the heck that tube is there at the back. We know that goes into the bowl. We have another tube over here. I'm thinking all of this crap was some small crap. So so I don't know. But I know all of that being open is not stopping us from hearing it bark off. All right, hook the choke up, because I hadn't had the choke hooked up. I didn't know where the wire was at, but I just found it. It's hanging out right there the whole time. Okay, gang, get the sucker squeezed back in there, and I'm gonna pull the spark plug, and I guess we just gotta test for compression.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, gang, got out my old Pittsburgh Harbor Freight compression tester. I mean, this thing is really not that great. I've had better. You know, I'm used to Snap-on and Mako compression testers, but I don't know how accurate this thing is. I used it before and it wasn't all that. And also I lost the one tip. The one tip that fits in the engine, I lost it. So we got to use this one. You got to press in with your hand. And like I say, this thing is what it is. You get what you pay for. All right, so switch on. Let's see what we got. We got a big fat 0. Well, it's official, guys. I gotta go back to those valves. It can't be right. Cannot be right. I felt more air coming out of those valves before I messed with them. So yeah, did I screw it up? Possibly. It's possible. So let's get it back to TDC and let me check the valves and go over them again and find out where I went wrong. I'll tune you guys right back in. All right, gang, check it out. Now I rotated the engine around back to top dead center, and now we have that big giant gap again, so top and bottom. So what I think the problem is, we tried to adjust the valves on either the compression stroke or the exhaust stroke. Either way it should be, we got it wrong. Well, I got it wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this sucker back around one more time to top dead center, and we're going to see if the valves are tighter again. Like I say, this is my first time dealing with a 125 Yamaha, so I don't know, but you know what? We're going to learn. We're going to learn together. All right, gang, rotated around 1 revolution, and we're back at the point where we adjusted our valves, and they're good. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate it back around to the point where they're loose as heck. We'll adjust the valves right there, and then we'll see if we got compression. Okay, I'm back at the point where the gap is wider than the Mississippi River, so I'm gonna adjust them to where they should be there, and then we'll check it out. Well, gang, sometimes you just have to admit defeat. All right, I adjusted the valves up, down, in, out, every which way you could. You know what I'm saying? Rotated the engine around, the valves would be loose. Rotated it back around, they'd be they'd be within the clearance that I set them at. And basically, I think it's exhaust stroke and then it's intake stroke. So, all right, my buddy, I had to dial him up. He explained that to me. I couldn't get it. He came over. He knows about these Vinos 125s more than I do. So he put it to where he know it's supposed to be. We adjusted it and we have no compression. So that's why this bike got sold for parts. You know, that's why the previous owner bought it, because it didn't have compression. Now, let me show you. This came out of the motor. This little dial for adjusting the valves, you know, for the correct valve adjustment tool, that came out the motor. When I took the cap off the bottom for the bottom valves, this fell out. So yeah, I'm fighting against something that just wasn't going to happen, you know. So it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. So I'm not done with the bike, you know. I'm going to go ahead and order a top-end kit, and it's probably going to be expensive because it's a Yamaha. And just basically do some more research, learn more about the bikes, watch some videos, you know what I'm saying, get some more advice from other people, You know, that's what you do, dude. You do your research, you look up stuff, and you figure it out. That's how you learn. But yeah, there's nothing at this point I can do for it. So guys, I'm done. So I would just like to say thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Join the not the Facebook. Join the Scooter Rehab Facebook group. You know, show me your bike, show me what you got. And hey, I'm gonna see you on the next one.